Hello once again, lads. Welcome back to the Vibe streams. I know I usually do other content today. Where the hell did this guy come from? I mean, sure, yeah. Sure, alright then. So we're back grinding SoulSilver. It's mainly because I don't have any content planned, and well, Lassa didn't respond to my message because I think he's still, you know, not good to do content. So I'm just gonna do it myself. Sorry, yeah. I just got back from seeing, finally, a stream while I'm not asleep. Also high fuse. Well, yep. Hey, what's good? What's good, Judah? Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm doing this one a little bit earlier because I have work in the morning, so I don't really know what my plan is for this stream. I just kind of am here. Oh no, oh, big pog moment, my friend. Big pog, very nice. Yeah, so I'm just kind of vibing. No Way Home is awesome. If you're a Marvel fan, I know there are a lot out there. I am a shill for Marvel. I will buy virtually any movie they put out because I have been watching them since I was a little kid. But if you are a Marvel fan, this is the best Marvel film ever. Period. You will never I doubt they will ever make anything better than this. Or at least right now, like, I don't know what next year will hold. Shopping Mall 9. Oh, by the way, I don't have it linked, but I'm listening to if you just look up Univa Lo-Fi, I have that on my I have that up right now for just some stuff to listen to in the background. Because I know listening to Heart Gold SoulSilver music, especially for me at this point, is getting a little old while I'm grinding. So I said, why don't I pick something new out? So with that said, also, if you didn't see the stream last night, basically we did the same thing, but we had a bug where I got a texture glitch and I had to figure out how to restore my save state on the fly, because otherwise we would have lost like 3 hours worth of content. So I will be periodically saving every time my Pokemon levels up. So if you see like the game pause for a second, that's why. I just wanted to let you know. But yeah, how are you doing tonight, Judah? I lost faith in Marvel after Loki, but everyone has their opinions. Really? You didn't like Loki? Damn. I'm shocked. But hey, I agree. Everybody's allowed to have their opinion. Regardless of that, here we are now. Oh, also, another thing I want to talk about. Just apart from the fact that I just saw the movie. Yeah, but that movie's awesome. Apart from that, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Legends Arceus with Hisui and Voltorb. Oh. Voltorb has now gone from a Pokemon I actually hated encountering in the wild to something I genuinely think I want to have when I play through that game. Because it looks so freaking cute. Like, how do you not love Hisui and Voltorb? He's so adorable. Route 10, interesting. I'm fine. Thank you very much. Has anything interesting happened to you? Not really. I've been working on animating stuff for a video I want to put out, and I have some other things in the works too. Mostly just like chilling. I finished school up. I got A's in both my classes, so that was nice. Yeah, mostly I've just been kind of grinding through schoolwork for these past couple of weeks. Today's been like the only day that I've gotten to relax. Please don't. Surf? Okay. I'm gonna go heal. Another that was pretty interesting too. Another thing. 2A's big brain fuse. Yeah, oh, shit. Now I don't know if the stream's still live. Let me check. Oh no, we're not fighting in Arceus. Hold on, just a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh. Oh my god, my friend. Oh my god. Yeah, a little bit big brain, not gonna lie. I mean, I took, I'm a oh shit. Oh, it's a Starly, thank god. I'm a creative writing major, but I also like dabble in animation and stuff. So I took intro to animation and feature film screenwriting this semester. And I had a blast with both. Feature film screenwriting, I wrote a 116-page feature film. And then for, what's it called? I should probably save here, honestly. For intro to animation, I had to make a 30-second animation. And I really went balls to the wall. Like, I did perspective shifts, I did everything. I tried to be really fancy with it. Uh-oh. No, please, my friend. State Farm ad evil. I don't have ad block, so kind of just have to deal with that sometimes. It's a hassle, but these vibe streams are so fun. That sounds so cool. I've always been interested in drawing and writing myself, so I'm jealous. Hey, you know, go for it. I don't know. I won't presume to know where you're at in life, but, you know, if you're able to take classes and do stuff like that, they are certainly a lot of fun. And not just the ones I've mentioned, like I've also taken fiction writing and like stuff like that, and I've enjoyed every second of all of them. So, all right, can you... Arceus is so annoying. They spawn in this cave and I hate it. I murder God every time I walk into this cave and it sucks. I just want to be left alone, fight Tyrannotars, and do super effective damage and not have to deal with them. Oh, that's no bueno, my friend. I need to save anyway, so... yeah, it sounds as fun as it is. I will say, and I haven't said this to a ton of people, but I'll say it here. There is a difference between like what a lot of stuff on YouTube that's listed as animation is compared to actual animation. If you study it, a lot of what people do on YouTube, and this isn't to knock them, because I actually think a lot of these people are super talented. Like, a lot of people who do what are basically animatics. Now, animatics are very difficult to do, like, in a lot of cases, because what they are essentially are keyframes. And in animation, keyframes are basically your most important drawings, the ones that are on screen the longest. And what a lot of people do is they'll make an animatic of a bunch of keyframes. Man, having to murder a bunch sure is a hassle. It really is. He's just, you know, he's always in my way, and he never lets me run away. Like, you know, the phrase, you know, like, that he's always around, you know, it's like, you know, yeah, can you just, like, back off, though? I'm trying to grind in this cave, my guy. Ooh, what is this? Lacunosa? Oh, this one's good. Anyway, so there's a difference. There's a difference between keyframing and doing an animatic and actual animation. Now, keyframing, what you're essentially doing is taking your big drawings, so like your most important stuff. Like, let's say you're doing an animatic of a Pokemon battle. Well, the most important things that would be on screen are like the trainer standing behind the Pokemon and stuff. And then the Pokemon does a move like Water Gun, and you might have them open their mouth, and then you'd show the Water Blast, and then you just cut to the next Pokemon getting hit by it. That's an animatic. You know, a lot of people do this when they're animating YouTuber moments. because it's easier to draw the big moments from this story rather than actually animate them. Actual animation requires something called in-betweening. Now, in-betweening is the hard stuff. This is why 30 seconds of animation for me took 5 days. 5 days of work. It looks fantastic. And everybody that I show it to is like, damn, man, you made this? And I was like, yeah, you know. I mean, it's not the best thing in the world. And once I finish it, it will be uploaded onto YouTube. You know, it'll be on this channel, because it's an animated sequence from a live stream from here. I won't say what it is exactly. And even if I did, it's not exactly the same as it was back then. But regardless of that, what ends up happening is you have your keyframes and then you have your in-betweens. Now, in-betweens are basically, they can look as janky as you want them to. I know how this stuff works, but it's still really interesting to listen to you ramble. Thank you. Okay, well, if you know how it works, then I'll just say, you know, like, if you're interested, I would wholeheartedly recommend it, because the class is a ton of fun. You don't just do like 2D animation either. I mean, I don't know how every college does it, but like mine, our first project was, it's called pixelation, but that's like an old term for it. Basically, what pixelation is just human stop motion. So you get a couple of your friends and you have them pose, and you go pose by pose and basically animate living people and objects in a physical space. It's a lot of fun. It was definitely a really cool... Why are there level 15 Pokemon in Mount Silver? Okay, sure. I mean, it's supposed to be randomized with their levels set, but I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't do it right. Weird. Anyway, so basically what happens is, you'll have, you'll do your pixelation project, and that one was a lot of fun. We did a whole thing, if you've played, what Mario game was it? It's the new one with the hat, where you can throw it onto different things and it comes to life as like Mario as different creatures and stuff. We did a play off of that, but like a horror one, where there's this dude and he's wearing a hat and the hat comes alive, but it's evil, so it tries to kill him. And so the hat crawls down him and finds the nearest person and then tries to beat his ass as this hat. And then, you know, eventually he gets the hat back. And it's very cool. What the hell was our second project? I think our second one was claymation. That one actually took me like 2 weeks to finish. Like, you don't imagine how hard that is, but it is actually pretty much... It's pretty taxing to do claymation. Levitating level 15 Kabuto bottom text. Also, it's Mario Odyssey. Thank you. Thank you. You're the best. Anyway, so you get to... I want to say the next big project you get is so you do claymation, and the hard part with claymation is building the models, because and I don't know if you know this. If you do, you can stop me at any time. But with claymation, basically to build a model for claymation, you actually have to make a wireframe first. And the wireframes are a total pain in the ass. They are by far the hardest part of the project, and I never want to make one again because I got so many cuts from these stupid little wires. Because here's the thing. If you use like aluminum wiring and stuff like that, yeah, it's fine. You get a spool of aluminum wire and it works, but the aluminum wire is sharp. So to make a model, you have to twist it like 50 times to make it thick enough to basically act as the bones of your model. And then what you do is you take this stuff called epoxy putty. Now, there are other alternatives for epoxy, but epoxy is like what I used and what a lot of people used. And basically what it is this fast drying substance, and it sucks. Like it sucks to work with. It is actually awful to work with. So basically what it is it's two putties. And you take them and you mix them together until they turn into this gray substance. And once they do, you have about like 30 seconds to mold it into the shape that you want it before it starts to harden, because it's a fast-acting cement. Now, what it's meant to do is act as the quote-unquote muscles of your model. So you want one on the bicep, one on the tricep, one on your thigh, one on your calf, one in the ball of your foot, on each leg and each arm. You want one in your chest. You want one in the middle of your abdomen so that it still has like that spinal bend, but it can't just bend like crazy. Taking the phrase blood, sweat, and tears literally, huh? Yeah. It's not fun. Anyway, so you get this big ass model and you make it. Now, I got unlucky because there are like several different types of epoxy. And the way it works is you'll buy this tub of it. It's not a big tub. It's like probably 3-4 inches total. And what ends up happening is you buy this tub and it's timed. But the thing is, they don't write the time on the outside of the tub. So you want to get the 5-minute instant epoxy. But even the 1 hour to 4 hour epoxy, they're still all called fast acting epoxy. They're not called instant. Instant isn't written on the frickin' box. So me and my friend went and got some, and we got the 1 hour epoxy, or we got the 3 hour epoxy instead of the instant epoxy. So we made our models in school, and we basically had to keep them from folding in on themselves for like 4 hours. Because these things just do not want to get hard. So after about a day, my model gets hard enough where I can start using it. And then what you do is you have to go back with your clay. And you can't just use regular clay, because regular clay will crack and break, and it sucks. I have experience because I used both in my project. You want to use this thing called polymer clay or something like that. It's like an artsy clay. You can find it at arts and crafts stores. It's a funny one. It comes in different colors, but it does not come cheap. Let me tell you. It is some expensive stuff. Lucky for me, my professor basically had a shitload of it he had used for a stop motion project prior, because he animates professionally and shit, and he wanted to do stop motion, so he did one. And he ended up having a shit ton of this clay, and he was like, here you go, you guys can have some. So I was like, okay. So I took some of his clay and I made my models from it. After a day, my model gets hard enough for me to use. Yep. Also very sus. Thank you, Jude. It doesn't come out as, oh god, you can't really say anything about that. But it's a fun project, because the cool thing about it is, with clay, you can do some incredible things. I mean, phenomenal things with claymation. The problem is it's just a process to get there. So what I did was I made my model, and I made a man. And the whole thing is basically this blob of clay and a drop of blue modeling clay. Not the type that I used for my actual model, but the type you use to model shapes and stuff when you're a kid. Because I had some leftover tubes of it from when I was like 8 in my house. Basically, that, I got that, and what's it called? Okay. You know, that's annoying that people put these little things in chat. I hate that people do that. I can't remove it, like, without a mod here. And I can't mod people while I'm or I can, but I can't mod people while I'm streaming and listening to music on stream. So sorry about that, Judah. But once you have your model ready to go, once the bones and the muscles are made, it's time to make your skin. So you take that clay and you make your skin. Now, what I did, and what's recommended, is that you take a hard object, such as a wine cork. You could also use some other stuff, like a bouncy ball or something hard that like won't move easily, and you want to put it on your neck to basically act as the frame for your head. And then you want to mold a ball of clay around it and make your face. I made a little nose and everything. It was adorable. I named him Harold because I had him for so long that I had to give him a name, because he was just sitting in my room staring at me. And then I used modeling clay for his eyes and mouth. Because they're sticky, so they stick to each other, and it just kind of works out that way. Anyway, so you take your modeling clay, or you take your polymer clay or whatever it's called, you make your model, and then that's about it. You're basically able to animate it now. The problem is, if you overscale and you put too much weight on any side of your model, it'll still start tipping over because it's wire and cement. It's not like, you know, made out of steel or anything. So, pretty hard to do. I wouldn't necessarily, like, recommend... like, if you're gonna do claymation in that class, my recommendation is to, like, take a lot of time with it, because I had a lot of classmates that didn't take the project seriously, and their projects came out like dog urine. It was awful. One guy's was literally a ball rolling because he just couldn't, he didn't put any time into it, so he just made a terrible project that sucked. This all sounds like something I would do for 10 minutes and then destroy in pure frustration. Yeah, I wanted to. I really did. After I made the wire model, my finger was bleeding and I was crying. Well, not actually crying, but I was on the verge of tears. If I'd have done something wrong, if the professor had said, Jacob, you did this wrong, you know, like, do it again, I would have been like, oh my god, I'm going to rip my own eyes out, and then would have probably lit the model on fire. But I finished it. And my project was basically that this blob of clay is infused with life. And so it comes alive. And I made basically a half model of my character, Harold, and then I made a full model of him. And the whole gimmick of the story is that he effectively... Thank you. He sees this fascinating marble on the ground, and he wants to pick it up because he's just come to life and he sees something pretty. So he goes to pick it up, but he realizes that he doesn't have fingers or detachable arms. So he detaches his limbs. He realizes he doesn't have, like, opposable hands. So he grows fingers. But then he realizes that the marble's too far away from him, and he can't pick it up. And so, out of sheer willpower, he grows legs, and picks up this marble. And then when he picks it up, he tosses it around in his hands, has some fun with it, and then that's the whole animation. The thing was about 1 minute to 2 minutes long, and it was a ton of fun to make. Like, in the final product, it was fantastic. I was so proud of it, but the making of was hard. But after that, after you do claymation, that's where the fun stuff starts, okay? This is where the cool stuff starts. So the third project is called Bouncing Ball, and it's the first of about 5 pencil tests. And pencil tests are basically test animations to sort of show your principal knowledge of animation. Now, the bouncing ball isn't hard, but as you're doing it, you get a feel for one of the basic animation concepts, squash and stretch. Basically, an object when it, like... Oh my god, that sounds so cool. Thank you. Yeah, but pencil tests, they're so fun. So with Bouncing Ball, I wanted to be fancy with it. So I did some fun little squash and stretch things. I wanted to go even crazier than I did, but I did that on the second one, and we'll get to that story in a minute. Oh, Asperita City is so good. This is Black and White 2, dude. I fucking love Black and White 2. Anyway. So, pencil test 1. You get your bouncing ball together, and I mean, it's fairly self-explanatory. The professor usually, like, in my experience, he gives you a template, but he also goes over with it in class and says, what you want to do is you want to start your arc and then basically plot it out. So your ball, in my case, you had to have it bounce a minimum of 2 times. So I started my arc at the top of my screen, and I formatted it like a YouTube thumbnail, 1920 by 1080. So I started the ball at the top of its arc and had it go down. And what you want to do is basically, As it's going down, you stretch the ball out vertically so that it looks like it's accelerating downwards. You also space it out more. So at the top of its arc, it moves kind of slow. You have your drawings of your ball get closer and closer together, and then on the down slope of your arc, you spread them apart. So by the time it's close to the bottom, it's the furthest apart from the last frame. I probably couldn't draw a sphere for my life. Neither could I, but that's the thing. It doesn't have to be consistent. It's just a circle. It's not even a sphere. It's just a circle. And it doesn't have to be a perfect circle because it's moving, so nobody can tell it's not perfectly round the whole time. See, I'm not good at drawing perfect either, but... And later on, I'll tell you a little secret too that also helps with animating. Little masterclass here from a guy who's animated once in full, detail and everything. Anyway, so basically what you do after that is when the ball hits the ground, I know how balls work, Fuse. Thank you. But just for bouncing ball, it's interesting. When the ball hits the ground, you squish it down and you actually compact it. So instead of being a... Dude, why does the stream keep disconnecting randomly? Haven't asked for some bit, but how is... Ash, I have actually good news. I was talking about this just now. It has about, I want to say I have roughly 10 to 15 seconds left to animate. So it should be done by the end of the year. That's bearing with the fact that I have time to work on it. Because obviously with the holidays coming around, there is a lot of stuff that I have to do. But I should be able to get it done. So, exciting news for you. I was actually just telling this to Judah here. I was talking about, the process of getting to the point where I was animating that project. So what happens after that? So bouncing ball, you finish that off. Fairly easy. The next one's very fun. You want to do, I call this project the figure eight, but I think in the actual thing it was called, I want to say Nick Cannon, top tier name. Thank you. Shit, I want to say that it was called... I can't remember what it was called. We're going to call it the figure eight. And what it is if you look at like your PC, you have an asterisk. That little star looking thing when you capitalize an 8. I feel like I didn't need to explain that, but I did. Whatever. You want to draw one of those, and then they made it so easy in our class, and people still didn't get it done, which made me laugh. But there were some not so brilliant people in my class. If you can accomplish it, it could be an end-of-the-year goal. It is the end-of-the-year goal, actually, Ash. It's my, it is pretty much the last video I want to put out for the year. If I can put it out at the end of the year, that would be fantastic. But some of the shit I did in there, like, Ash, it's going to be probably a minute long clip. It's not just going to be 30 seconds like your original timestamps. I went above and beyond, okay? So there's more story to it. There is more that happens in this story. You'll see, but there's more to it than what you think. I'm sad that I didn't get to show Sam yet, but he's going through some stuff right now. He's having a bit of a rough week. Don't talk about it in chat, Ash, because I'm sure he doesn't want that information out there. Putting so much effort for so little to show for, I have no patience for such things. You just me wanting to do it less and less. No. Here's the thing. It sounds worse than it is. It really does, because basically it's all about knowing how to pace yourself. And I feel like that's the same way with doing anything in life. Oh yeah, more story for school. No, I put more story in because I had fun with it. Like, it wasn't more of a story per se, it was just more happening. Like, there's more to the sequence than just I do one thing and then another thing happens and then the last thing happens and then it's over. It's like I stretch things out. Like that first jump that happens in there, if you go to the beginning of it, that whole thing is like 10 seconds long. But I do like 2 perspective shifts and all this crazy stuff in it. I'm so proud of it. It took me so long to do. And everyone I've shown it to has been like, wow. You know, for a first-time animator, that's impressive. So, I hope you guys will like it. Anyway, Judah, don't stop, because, you know, like, don't let me get you down, right? Because it's basically all about focusing on timing yourself out. And that's where, like, storyboards and stuff come in. Like, you could just animate straight ahead. And a lot of people do. They just sit, they'll animate for like 16 hours, and then they'll be like, oh, I'm done, you know, and then they'll leave. And the project will be okay, you know, tops. But when if you want it to be really good, basically, how would more things happen? Well, like there are parts where there isn't any talking, but there is action that I added in. Or there is, like, additional sound effects and stuff that I added in over certain segments that I did custom made. Like, they weren't based off of anything that happens in the original timestamped portion of that stream. But for animating, right, a lot of it, and this is really fun, is, like, once you know what you want to do, just basically doing it, focusing on timing myself out is literally the thing I'm worst at. Okay, well, that's the thing, so am I. But this, you know what? I'll tell you the secret now. The secret to good animation is knowing where to cheat. Also, I timestamp, but what exactly does it add? Well, I don't want to spoil it, but, like, I did 2 perspective shifts, right? And they take place in between 2 parts of the dialogue in your timestamp. Now, I started at the beginning part, like the earliest part of your timestamp, and went to the end point that you listed. I know I keep asking for this, but I have got a goldfish level memory. I don't care. I don't care. I like making it. I've had a fucking blast putting it together. And I can't wait till it's done, because I've done some super experimental work. But the key to animation is knowing where to cheat. Like, for me, all of my mouth flaps, I basically have 2 frames. 1 open mouth, 1 closed mouth. And all you have to do, right, is just copy and paste it. And you copy and paste it until it's about half a second long. And then when you're editing it, if there's not enough mouth flaps for your thing, just cut the mouth flaps part, copy the whole thing, paste it again and again until you hear your dialogue stop talking. Super easy. Or, like, for, say, a walk cycle, for instance. Walk cycles are very hard to do. But the thing is, if you do a walk cycle, you technically only have to draw 1 step fully. I mean, you have to, I guess more like 1.5, because what you do for a walk is you have the character step forward and you do everything. You do your passing position, all that crap. There's like 5 different drawings you have to do for a walk. But the thing is, when you're doing it, Celadon City has a lot. Check it out on Locke's channel. I will. When you do a walk cycle, and there is one of these in mine, by the way. As the character walks, basically, their legs are technically hitting the same positions. They're just flipped. So if one leg is stepping forward in one frame, all you have to do to animate the other leg for the next part of the walk is just basically shift the perspective. So if you think about, like, the pelvis area where your legs are connected, basically just put a line through the one leg to make it look like it's in the back, and erase the line on the leg you want in the front. That's it. And it looks perfect. Like, nobody will be able to tell that you did that. And I did it, and I got an A on my walk. Like, I got a 100%. He was just like, this is good. You followed all the instructions. It wasn't perfect because some of my frames I accidentally put higher than the others, so it looked like he was skipping along. But that's how you cheat basically, is to find spots where you can reuse drawings. So, like, I have a walk in my animation, and I only actually drew, like, one out of, like, because he walks halfway across the screen, and I only drew each frame fully once. And then I just changed the legs and the arms once. You don't have to change the position of the head or the body. You just change the arms and legs so it looks like they're flipped to the opposite side. Same thing with having a character, the secret ingredient is crime. Yep, that's accurate. It really is. It's just crime. Just commit crimes. Not in a video game. In a video game, chat. In a video game. In the video game. What is this? Ayo? Is this it? No! It can't be over. Oh, we're doing Sinnoh next. For sure. Sinnoh's awesome. Anyway. So, yeah. Commit crime. Cheat. And your animations will be better for it. Another thing you can do, really... Oh my god, that was hot. Dude, oh, I about nutted to that. That was sexy. Finna bust one when I heard that that beat drop in the middle of that. I also figured out what Pokemon resembling the perk badges with my brain. Yep. Nice job, Ash. Yeah, so cheat, 100%. Animation, a lot of it is just cheating. If you want to do really good animation without a shit ton of work, cheat.